Hello everyone to a new awesome tutorial, the last part of the neon sign tutorial. This part we actually will animate our scene and actually make a little few changes so that we actually get a cool effect over our scene, and this is basically kind of how it'll look. And also I'm gonna actually throw an animation at you. Hopefully it rendered out and actually true, because otherwise this would be cringe. And you know what, it would be cringe anyway, but at least I'd have something to show for it. So without this, let me actually just say that there are gonna be some changes to the scene, something that I did not show because my videos got corrupted. Basically what I did is, let me actually go into material mode actually for this. What I did, and let me show you from this perspective because it's easier to see, and we can go in render mode for this to, you know, pop it off. I just added some shelves. As you can see, these are empty because you won't see them, so who cares about them? I tell you, no one does. Well, you know, people from the tutorial probably do, but what you have to do though, what you have to understand is everything that I explained for the Funko Pops here basically apply to this one. It's the exact same process. What I did explain for the PS4 games, which again, it's just a plain extruded, applies for this one. So this is kind of the mesh. You know, there are a little more edges on this one because, you know, there are way more books, and I had to make it look a little more natural, a little more normal. And actually, if you look at it, let me actually go into material because it's gonna take a long time. Again, you can definitely see this is a plane, but there are some bugs I did, you know, get out a little bit just to make your life a little easier and to make it look a little more interesting and actually a little more like there are actually books there. All right, so the same can be said for this part right here. You know, it's nothing crazy. It's super simple and basic stuff, but it actually make a lot of difference. And I think it's very important for everyone to understand that, okay? The basic stuff that you learn in the beginning, and hopefully you still remember and hopefully you still do, are, in my opinion at least, probably the most powerful techniques, because the point is, the easier it is to do, it's good, because you have a better control over it. Image textures are pretty much flawless most of the time, so, you know, use them because they're amazing. That's kind of it for the explanation of that. The shelf, again, it's pretty easy and pretty straightforward. I just basically extruded, you know, the down part of this one, created some faces with some loop cuts, and extruded them a little bit, and that's kind of it. These are the shelves, and then just, you know, fill them in with the, you know, the books and stuff to just make a more interesting background. Because at the end of the day, when you will look at our scene, and actually let me do this. By the way, you have to press Ctrl-0 to be able to select different cameras on your scene. I do have a short that actually explains that, so, you know, you can do that. This is kind of what you'll see, which is way more interesting than, you know, not having anything in the background, because that actually gives a little more life to your scene. And also, yeah, so this video, I will teach you how to put decals. Decals are these pretty things right here that actually makes everything come to life a little more. I will teach you how to make this effect with particles in the air, which I always like to do because it's really interesting. And also, of course, how to animate our lights. Ooh, so look at that. We go from blue to red to pink to purple to whatever color exists on the spectrum of colors. We will do a lot of interesting stuff in this one, so hopefully you will stick around to see all of it. And with this being said, all there is left to say is thank you so much for the 120 subscribers, and let's get to 500. Come on, we can actually do that. I'm sure of it, and I do trust you. And also, please don't forget, I will link it below here as well. There's a procedural fence the procedural tool we've created. It's free, it's for you. The link will be down in the description for you to get it. And the first thing I would love for you to do is to actually get that, try to use it, show me how you would use it, and also tell me if there's anything I can improve to it, if you would like it to do anything else, and if everything worked properly, because I'm really interested, because the QA team, which is me again, I did test it out as much as I could, but of course I cannot cover every single part of it. So if there's anything you would like me to do, or if anything breaks or doesn't work properly, just tell me. I will try to help you out and I will try to fix it. And with this being said, please, for me, give a like to this video. Actually, to leave a like to this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already, and if you are subscribed already, please comment down below. If you're not subscribed, you can always comment down below, also comment down below. And if you're none of this or both of this or whatever, please share the video for others to see. And this helps a lot with the algorithm, and honestly, I kinda need all the help in the world to actually, branch out a little bit, like a little butterfly. Come on, let's do that. I really do hope you can help me out with this one. And without further ado, let's actually get into the video. I'm back. So I didn't finish this. I will leave the last two to actually do it with you guys right now. So there are two things that we actually have to take into consideration. First of all, is the Y here. So actually the dot on the eye, because actually I didn't think about it when I first did this, right? It's a little bit interesting. So the way I thought we will do this, right? We're going to just take this out of the D as well, and basically connect these two together. So basically it will make sense for wiring this one, and also we will wire this one, right? We will actually just wire this part with this part, and then this last part here will actually be the one that will connect with the last electrical part. So with this being said, let's select these two and let's segment this so that we actually have what we need. Let's actually turn both of these to aligned, so you can see there's actually a change there. And now let's just extrude this. Now, I do recommend you to do what I did and actually put them all on the same Y position, because it just makes way more sense and it looks way more aesthetical, if you ask me. Now, it's not necessary. It's not a necessity really, because people won't really see it to begin with. But I do think it's actually a little bit of extra care. So, if you ask me, it's a nice touch. And I think you did see it a lot of times when I did the, the speed up. But basically, it's good to actually have one handle in between like two lateral ones and have one vertical one, let's call it, because that way we can actually create these sharper corners. Otherwise, it will be the smooth, round stuff. And even though, it doesn't look bad, again, it's just the design. You don't have to necessarily do it. I like to do it because I think it gives a little more sense to what we're doing. And if you remember the references as well, actually, let me pull them up here. The neon tubes, right? The neon signs are, still glass. So basically, it's not that easy to bend it. And it's gonna be still a rigid body, so you have to take that in consideration. It has to kind of look like a rigid body, so yeah. All right, now the eye here also has to go in the back, and G and Y, G and Z, and I just realized screencast was not on, was it? It's not like it matters per se, really, but so you can see it here on the right. Maybe I wanna. It's a little too in the right now. Can I change that? Okay, yeah. Good. Now it's better. No, it's not that better. Oh, it is good just if it has this on, really? Okay, let's actually then create a margin. How about that? Does that work better? It does work better. Yeah, no, let's leave it like this. Maybe leave it a little more down. Something like this here should be fine. Good. Now we're good. Okay, so having this here, from here on out, it's actually pretty simple. You know, just take this down and put this in the lateral. Also, for those of you wondering about the procedural work, so the procedural tool of the fence, it's actually coming out at the end of this week. And also the train that I did promise you guys is coming next week, probably at the end of the week as well. The reason the procedural tool actually comes at the end of the week and didn't came yesterday or 2 days before, it's because I actually added some stuff. So I added new models. I added also a new texture, actually 4 more textures, and also, and drum rolls please for this one, because this is actually a big one, a new function, a new node basically, that will let you do something a little bit different from what our original fence was able to do. At least I hope so. I'm working on it for some time and I'm pretty close to doing it, but I had a little bit of troubleshooting issues because it didn't offer enough control, you know, as I hoped. And because of it, I actually, you know, tried different versions. And I do think I finally got it right. I do think I finally got it to the stage where it's doing exactly what I needed to. But I just need to make sure that everything works properly, because as you guys may know, I think these tools should, you know, ease our work. They should not really be confusing. And yeah, just in case you're wondering why they take so long and it's not out yet, it's just because I'm creating basically a little bit of a, you know, more complex tool. So hopefully you guys can forgive me for that happening. I know I did say it will show up faster, and I'm fully aware that, you know, it's not ready yet, but I do think it's a really, really useful tool, and I do think it's actually going to be appreciated, because it's actually you know, taking a lot of time off of your hands with, you know, texturing some stuff, modeling some stuff, and really giving you a lot of ground to cover. Pun intended. Because, you know, it's a fence. I don't know, I just like that. Yeah. So stand-up, it's not gonna be my career. That's why I'm doing 3D, alright? Don't judge, please. Says me on the internet. Exactly the place that no one judges on. I'm really choosing smartly, don't I? So, with me stopping for a second to talk like an idiot and actually just, you know, work. Here's the deal. Here's how we have to pursue this. So again, we have these two subdivided and, you know, have one more handle in the middle there, and actually just get it to fit right. So as Z0 to get it to the same level there. Let's actually get this a little bit down. And don't forget, we do play with 3D curves, so because of that, you should be pretty careful about it. Also, let me see. Trying to get this right here. Okay, this looks pretty good. What else can I do? Can I take this a little bit? No. It will break it. I do think it actually looks pretty good. And actually, let's save this for a second. Let's get into render mode, not render mode, sorry, material mode. And I mean, I'm pretty impressed with this one. Also, for those of you that don't know, we will actually animate this. So this movement here, yeah, we'll make the colors change, and I'll show you how to do that. It's actually a pretty cool trick, and if you ask me, a pretty effective trick, because I think I did mention it already, but it's actually, you know, neons are so useful, really, because they are eye-catching, really. Like, you will look at the neon sign and be like, yeah, that's cool. Fairly easily. And also, by the way, it's pretty easy to do, you know, 3D model. And as you saw, really, it does work in both Eevee and Cycles pretty well. Yes, Cycles, you know, has the realistic lighting, and when it's, you know, given a floor is definitely the superior one. However, though, it's actually for the first time where Eevee actually stands its ground against Cycles, and, you know, I think that's actually a pretty impressive feat, considering, you know, how much more advanced Cycles is supposed to be. So, you know, there's that, plus the render speed is also pretty cool. Of course, it's not as realistic. However, if you want to make like stylized versions, I think Eevee is doing the job more than enough. All right, so having this, I will actually pull, I just realized. So I'll pull the first video that I did with neons, because I did pull that image that I did for a contest on Artstation. But yeah, it's the first video I did with neons was actually, in my opinion, better than that. And it's a video I'm actually pretty proud of till this day, and that's not actually an easy feat to cover, because I don't usually actually like my videos, just because I just think I can do much better than that. Okay, so I have this. Now, as I said, I'm going to take these two out. So take these segments and also let's align these. And why did I do this here? Because that's a dumb idea. Also take not the vertices, sorry, the segments out. Also, let's grab this and get it kind of over here. I can also grab this and, you know, actually just move it on the Y a little bit till we actually get to a desired destination. Same with this. What did I do? Oh, I press scale, of course. That's what I did. So actually, let me select these two again. E, Y, and we're moving now. And that's a pretty cool thing. Okay, let me think about it now. So actually, I can drag this a little bit like this. Maybe, actually, let me drag them both at the same time. Something like this. Let me look at it. Like, actually, no. I kind of still want to have this here. So this can actually look like that. That's cool. And then just connect this. And take this a little bit back. Same with this one. And now what we should be doing is actually take all this, SY0, so that we actually make sure they're on the same page, and actually make sure all of these are also taken. Make sure to not select any like vertical on the depth vertices, because that will actually create problems and artifacts for you, and that would not be cool. Just select the ones that are actually, you know, changing the Y. I'm pretty sure you probably figured it out by now, but, you know, just in case. Let's actually get this kind of here. I'm trying to figure out, because I don't really like how that looks. I think it could look way better if I actually do some sort of, you know, let's scale this down a little bit. It actually looks a little better. I do like it a little more now. Great. So now we have this happening. That's pretty cool already. Now what else we need to do, right, is actually you know, make the also a fully aligned version. So to do that, you know, delete this vertex, not the segment, but the vertex here. We can actually probably make this aligned already. Delete this vertex, make this one aligned, and then G and X. Probably will also need to move this a little bit. The way you have to also think is just trying to make it parallel to this one as much as possible anyway. Let's make sure this is aligned. And actually, no, you know what? I'm gonna delete that. Make this aligned first. You know, get it somewhere around there, and then apparently get a cursor for no. Yeah, sure. No, one more time. You know what? Probably even a third time. How about that? Okay. So let's actually try to keep the distance between this fairly similar to what we had before. So also let's try to keep it like this. G and Shift Y, don't forget about that, so that we actually don't, you know, move this on the Y by mistake. And do something like this. G Shift Y again to actually get this up. Probably something like this should work. And it actually does look pretty good, but that's good. Okay, let's see. Take this out, take this out, take this out. This is gonna be aligned, and this is gonna be aligned also. And now, of course, we will subdivide and actually get another one. And we should just be getting this as parallel as possible to the one we have. So something like this probably. And also let's bring this, you know, something like this. Good. Now that looks good. Also, this one also has to be aligned. Asset 0, and let's take this a little bit back. Okay, also align this one. And let's subdivide them so that we actually have a little more control over the middle there. Okay, G Shift Y to kind of get this. Get a little back and push this a little. Okay. Good, and then just let's do it again. Again, try to make it as parallel as possible to this one. Take this back and then push this as much as it allows us. Also, let's align this one. I thought that was aligned. How about that? Alright, now let's make sure this is actually here. So, select all these three individually, and then just get this a little closer. Oh, this is not aligned either. That's interesting. Didn't I? Well, it doesn't matter. I guess I didn't yet. Oh, I will actually create a segment here, so that's what I was trying to wonder. Like, didn't I actually do this already? Apparently, I forgot to do it yet. So actually, let's do it right now. Do this and create a segment, and of course, get this, you know, down. Something like this, somewhere around here. I think it's pretty good. G Shift Y, and actually, let's get this up in the air, and actually, again, try to be as parallel as possible to this other curve right there. And actually, this one, this is not gonna be connected, right? I was almost trying to connect them there for a second. Okay, so we have this, and now what we gotta do is actually just connect this one and this one. So actually, let's take them both and actually E, Y, and get them, you know, all the way back, which is good enough. Then we can just move this a little, get it super small. Consider, so that it doesn't affect us in the back there. Good, let's see. I'll actually probably do this and just subdivide it. And let me see for a second. So I'll actually probably I'll try to put this as much as possible like in the back there, because I just think it makes a little more sense. It makes it look a little more aesthetic that way. So again, you don't have to do this. This is just a design I have. It's what I usually do to this. I think trying to hide this back is actually, making it seem a little more realistic, really, because it does look as if, that's what they usually do. They try to kind of hide the part where actually it just, glows and stuff. So Shift Y, maybe? Does it work properly? It actually did. And yeah, that's actually more or less it. Also, let's do it like this a little. Okay, this actually looks pretty good. We're not done just yet. I just wanted to look at it a little bit and save. And also EY in the back here. RZ180. And then GNX to actually move it all the way in the back here, right? So also let's try to make sure this actually, okay, it is hidden by this one. That's pretty cool. Also, let's subdivide and get this a little warrior here. Put it like, I don't know, something like, not that, that's for sure. SX0, GY, maybe like this. Let's actually take this back a little. GNX kind of like this. Okay, this looks much better. And Gen Y maybe like this. And this one actually we will do only after we will actually, come with this all the way up there. So, kind of the same will happen to this one. Let me actually, just before I do that, the subdivision there real quick. And Gen Y, SY, no, sorry, SX0 to just make sure that is properly connected there. And also this, let's try to move it just there. Okay. So I think this actually looks pretty awesome. I think you do think that as well. Let me actually see the material one more time. And actually it does look pretty awesome. Okay, so basically what we will do is make a little bit of a storefront. Okay, so now to actually go a little further with our scene, right? So is the cursor? Yeah, it is in the middle. Let us create a plane RX90 to actually get it. Try to put it in like the middle of our name. Then scale it quite a bit. Put it something like this. And actually we will want it in front of our sign. And you might think I'm crazy for putting it in front of it, but actually it will make sense in just a little bit of time. So first things first. Let me actually take it down a notch. Maybe something like this. And we want to make it kind of around here. Good, pretty good. Okay, now we will actually duplicate it and pull it down quite a bit. And I know it looks a little bit weird. You will understand what I'm doing in just a second. But actually, let me also add a camera. So that's a thing I did start doing for some time now. When you think you're more or less done with how you model stuff and how you want things to look, if you did not block stuff out in the beginning, please try to block things a little bit out. And the reason for it really is because you're actually going to make your life a little easier, because this way you basically can understand what you'll basically look at, right? So you're basically preparing the field for what's about to come. Let me actually take this out, maybe like this. I'm thinking. Hmm. 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 Um. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna take all of them and scale them out. Right, applying the scale, and then let's actually take this kind of like this. So this is going to do enough. Let's take this up. Also this one up a little bit. And let's actually do another one. So put this here, kind of the same thing. So let's actually apply the scale to all of them. And now what we want to do is first go into edit mode and actually let's subdivide this a little bit, and we will subdivide it with 20. And I think this should be more or less enough. And these two, we will also have to subdivide them. But this will be with, actually no, 20 should do for this one as well. And the same with this one. So we will have quite a bit of geometry, but we don't really care about that. Okay. I still didn't answer the kind of the question of why exactly do I have this in front, but what we will actually do is pull off this a little bit like this, and actually give it a new material, which is going to be glass. I think a lot of you kind of realize this. I'm going to make kind of like a storefront. So basically, I will need the glass shader to be here. So actually, let me see how this looks. And I do definitely enjoy how this looks. The roughness, of course, you can take it as much down. You can take it fully down if you want. But I do like 0.35 maybe, because I kind of like this light it's coming through the window. I think it just looks really good. Right, it's just pretty fine. It's a little strong, so definitely I will try to maybe pull, I don't know, the strength a little down. It depends. We will see how the scene will look at the end, but for now at least this is pretty cool. This will also have a material. I'm not gonna try to, create actual materials. I'm going to take all of them out of like Polygon or, Blender Kit or something. Oh, not Polygon, Brick. So this one is one that I used before, but I'm going to use it one more time. I liked it a lot, so why not? And this one actually, wait, let me see how much I see. Okay. I didn't think about this one too much, did I? So actually, no, I'm gonna take this up like this and Shift D. Let me see it from the front. Let's actually take this. This floor will actually, I can delete it right now. Um, Right, so we will apply the scale for that one. And everything is more or less okay. So the reason this one actually looks so weird, we can actually go and see it. It's actually because I'll give this a different material basically, because for this one in particular, we will have to apply a different brick. We don't really apply a different brick, but it's basically you have to kind of have the aspect ratio matching the other bricks. And the way you do it, or at least the way I do it, is by trying to match, you know, those bricks you see right next to each other, basically. Just try to have those. See, something like that. And actually, we can see that there's a little bit more stretching to do. And this actually can do pretty fine. So that's pretty good. That's, you don't even see that it's, you know, not good. Also, you have to go on settings and displacement and bump is activated. And actually, let's render this, because we do need to see the displacement. So set the displacement strength to 1 and this will happen, which is not good. It's not what we want, but we can actually do something. So first things first, we can apply subdivision surface, give it a level 2, and also let's get the scale down. And we can give it like a 0.1. I would say it's doing a pretty fine job. Basically, the same will have to be done for this one. And the reason you don't have to apply more geometry after you put the subdivision surface, it's because you actually already did when you... Not 1, sorry, 0.1. You already did when you subdivided them. So that's the reason we don't really care about it, because we're good. But we will have to do it actually in the end here. Right, because towards that end, as you saw, that actually will affect us. This, we don't really care. We're pretty good there. Let's see. We can actually probably take the glass a little bit down now. And we will create a small frame around it. It's not, again, that big of a deal. It's just a little bit of a work here. I'm honestly just playing around at this point. Oh, we already did this for this one, so we should also apply. So the reason this looks much better with subdivision is because it's adding more geometry that the displacement can work with, so it helps it a lot. So let's actually go back actually in material mode to see it a little better. And let's actually go to the window, select this vertex, and you know, shift S for the cursor to be there. And what I propose to do is actually create a small frame. So let's get a cube, SZ, and then SY, and let's try to get it. Kind of like this. Okay. Maybe a little bit more down, something like this, maybe. I'm trying to figure things out as well. So, okay. Also, we can actually apply a mirror modifier. Something we didn't do for quite some time. So actually, let me take this down. Generate mirror modifier on the axe and activate clipping. So now basically we can just, you know, drag this around. So actually GX for this one to get here, and for this to actually get to the, you know, to create the corner basically, we will use shear, another tool we didn't use for some time now. Let's get it something like this. Okay. And we will get it up. So as at 0 now for this to actually, get up like this. And now you have to look at the camera, where the camera sees us. So I mean, you can basically just do that now. I didn't want to do it, but boom, now we have it. And actually, we also have to take this face and delete it so that we have that faceless there. And now what we need to do, and it's actually a little harder than you think, is to actually match the height, right? So Alt S, and well, this will not work properly. So okay, SX, GX for this one. So let's try to match it to the one down there, something like this, and then GZ, kind of something like this. Okay, and this actually now, as we can see in the camera, actually looks pretty okay-ish. The reason is because this actually should be a little more up. Good, that's good. What else can we do? We can actually take this, bevel it, if it's not creating us any problem, because I saw there's something. Oh, because it's shearing it. So I rotated this with 30 degrees. And actually, this is 45. And we should actually pull this a little bit. And just to make sure they are doing it right, as at 0, as at 0. Okay, again, this is something that you can or cannot do. You can, or you can just skip. You can do, or you can, just skip. Because honestly, it's not that important. It's just a design that I want to do a little bit on my frame here. The reason for it, really, I don't really have a reason. I just wanted to do it. Basically, that's it. Okay, as at 0 for this one. Okay, and also let's take this as at 0. GG. Kind of here. So what I'll do this is actually let's get out of X-ray mode. So select this. And what I want to do is, well, first take this in, and this even more in. So basically I create this, I don't know, sort of, actually maybe taking it out would, yeah, because taking faces in like that wouldn't make that much sense. But actually, I think I did see something. Was I dumb? Was I creating a, oh, because I'm creating a face now. Oh wait, when I do it like this. Oh, because that face stays. Okay, yeah, yeah. Because I'm not moving all of it. So I should take all this, take it in the same direction, then only one of it can move, and now it's gonna be okay. So let's see, do I like it like this? Let's actually activate, not X-ray, but shadow and cavity. Hmm. Yeah, actually, it doesn't look bad. But it doesn't really look that good either. So, no. What I will do is actually, sorry, do this in the opposite direction. So, I will do this effect, but in the other direction, taking it a little bit up like this. Also, probably a lot of you will ask, well, actually, let me, not just unwrap it, but smart unwrap it. Okay, and now, wood, what wood? What wood would work here? I'm gonna apply this one. So let's see what we get. Actually looks pretty good. Nice. But from the camera, we can actually see the wall here, which I'm not too keen on. So because of that, let me see what I can do. I mean, of course, I can actually, move the frame a little. So this way, I will not have that problem. Okay. Still not that okay. Now it's good. Now we cannot really see it. And even if you still can see it again a little bit, just move it some more. Just very tiny movements so that you make sure you don't actually ruin everything. Okay, so we have the frame, we have the glass. Is there anything else we can actually do? Yes. First, we will actually create a geometry node for our little thing here, for our window. So let's actually go to geometry nodes. So let me actually pull this here. And we'll call these droplets. Well, come on. All right, so we will have droplets on the window, right? How will that look? Well, we'll actually have to see. First things first, let's distribute points on faces. And this is basically what we get. Of course, we still want the window. So because of that, let's actually join the geometry. So something like this. And now we have both the geometry, both the window and the points on faces. So that is pretty cool. Okay. Now we can actually take this and instance on points, right? Good. What will we instance on points though? Well, we can actually, let me see, take an icosphere. And that will look horrible because the radius is immense, right? So you will want it super small like this. And subdivision will have to be increased because we actually need quite some detail on it. So actually, I'll put it maybe 3. Okay, so put set shade smooth. So actually, you can select edge or face. Of course, we wanted the faces to be like that. And as you can see, it's not selected yet. So basically, this is a Boolean. It says if it's true or false, and we want it to be true. We want the shade smooth to actually work. So basically, it will just smooth out our objects there, right? So this will already kind of work, but we can do a little more than that. And of course, we know that. We know at this point that we can actually just work things out and actually, change a little bit on how our droplets look, right? But to actually make this work a little better for us, we can get a combine XYZ. Actually, not a combine, sorry, a separate XYZ, right? So this will only give the... Actually, no. No, sorry. It is the combine. I don't know what I'm thinking. So yeah, the combine because we want all the values. And here is a little bit of a thing. We want random values to actually be given. So of course, we'll introduce the random value node, right? And we can actually give the exact same random value to all of them. And as you can see, it does actually work, right? Like it does affect, the randomness here. However, we don't really want this. Kind of. We do want it, of course, but we want it in a certain way. We want to be able to kind of make the droplets have different shapes, not just be smaller, but with the same shape is what I'm trying to say, right? So I'm actually going to have 3 random values, right? So the reason I will do this, it's because each of these will have its own randomization, right? So X will have its random value, Y will have its, and the same will happen to Z. And we also should have a map range. Of course, a map range should be applied to all of them, to each of them actually, not to all of them. Something like this. All right, and the reason for it really, it's because we want to be able to play around a little bit with our randomization, right? So we can actually set the minimum to be kind of like this, and also the maximum we can play around to make it a little more. So basically, let's make it 1.5 actually worked a little better, right? And we can go for the X also to be, a little smaller. And so we'll have really small ones that will actually look a little weird and stuff like that. And of course, we can play with this value and actually make it be 0.7 maximum. The reason we will put 0.7 is because we want this to actually be very small. Right. They are raindrops after all. They have to look pretty small. They have to look pretty insignificant. Compared to our big window anyway. Also, from the distribute points and faces, from random, let's actually go to Poisson disk and just increase the... no, so the distance minimum, let's make it like 5 millimeters. And the density max should be increased. So yes, we'll have a lot of rain droplets. And this is exactly the reason why, I will actually take this even more down. And actually, I don't want to, keep on changing this value. So what I'll do is actually get a value node. And this value node will be inputted to each and every one of these values. And we can put it to 0.1 or 0.2 or point whatever. And basically, our droplets will have that. So I would still think that's pretty cool. All right, now we have this. And we can also have, let's see. For our icosphere, we could have a material, right? So set material can come right here. And actually, we don't have a material for it just yet, but we can, put one. So material number 0, it's fine, because we can go into the shading tab, right? And the shading tab basically will have these right here, which we'll call droplets. Oh, sorry, that was for the window. Right, so let me actually not select the body, just to select the droplets material. This still take it, really? Okay. I guess it will. Well, that's kind of unfortunate. Anyway, we will need the droplets material. So, what will the droplet really have to, well, look like? And that's actually quite a good question. It's really glass, basically. So you can have just a glass Bsdf in a lot of ways. First of all, roughness has to be 0, just because it does, right? We can have metallic, but then again, that will look really, really weird. So I will also put a transparent Bsdf, right? And let's get a mix shader here and combine these two. Okay. Don't change the color. I don't know why I did that. Okay. Let's see. Well, we can also get translucent Bsdf, of course. Get another mix shader here, and actually put a mix shader in. So basically, we will have, I don't know how to call it, like a little bit of a fogginess thing, I guess. We can also get the IOR a little bit different. And you can play with the IOR here as well in the specula, but it just depends on you. I don't really know what kind of IOR for specula what I should have, so that's on me. Also, did I not? Oh no, I did. I was not sure if I actually did unwrap that. So let's see how this looks, right? Is this one still set to that? It is, yes. So this has to go back to glass. And at the raindrops, you can actually see them. So that's pretty good. But we can actually do a little better than this. So let's actually pull this in the left corner here. And let's look through the camera. So what can we do? First, we will go to geometry nodes, which is the geometry node editor here. Let's hide that as well. First, I would like the raindrops to be a little bigger, right? So 0.35 could do, right? I think they do pretty well. I didn't really play with the value for the Z though. And we actually need this to be a little bigger. But let me actually get into the object mode for just a second there. See it? Oh, okay, this one was, yeah. So actually a little smaller would work. So let's go 0.2. Or actually no, 0.5. Yeah, this looks a little better. So this looks quite okay. We can also add something more to this to make it a little better, right? To make it look, I don't know, just better. For the set position, so get a set position node like this. And actually, we want to influence it a little bit. And the way I will do that, I hope at least this will work the way I hope it'll work. Is by getting a noise texture in. Let's see. No, this offsets the, well, position, just like I said. What about the transform geometry? Translation, rotation, and scale. Yeah, this will not work, unfortunately. Unless I probably realize the instances and then change them, but it would be a drag. However, we can actually change something. We can actually use the rotation, have a rotate Euler, I think. Yeah, I always forget if it's that or align Euler, align to Euler. So let's actually connect this to the, actually not to the rotation yet. First, let's combine X, Y, Z. And let's set it to the Y actually, in this case. And let's rotate it. And it's not working properly because I don't think it's the one we need. So it's the Z. Okay, so the Z is the one we need. Okay, cool. Let's rotate that by the local. And also, we will want to actually put in a random value. Okay, and let's see. Should we put a map? Yeah, no, you know what? I'm gonna put a map range in between, of course. Map range is just so useful because it gives us so much so from -1 to 1. So basically we have a way more you know, rotation difference. And this actually looks super good. And I think there's something else that we might be able to use to make it look even better. I hope I'm not wrong though. Let's actually look at it from the camera perspective and go into material mode. This is the window, alright, so don't forget that. Actually you can see the rain droplets like this. So actually you see the transparency through this, even though this is the material shader. That's because we did not use the glass Bsdf, and we actually did use the transparent and the translucent nodes that Blender does know even in material mode. Okay guys, so this is gonna actually be the end of the video. So actually there's gonna be one more part, which is also the last part. It's the part where we will learn how to animate light and all the other things that I actually talked about in the beginning, because I didn't realize how long this will actually get, and I don't want, you know, to have like 2-hour-long videos. So I'm going to end this one right here. So I hope it was useful. At least the part where it putting the rain and the dust, I think is the most important part that you have to get out of this, because the rest of it we kind of done before. Even though a very important part that I think you really should understand is how to get the materials, and also how to kind of fake details, you know, just to get it, right? So all this world now, you know, it's just a plane, nothing too crazy. And you can always do that, okay? To just save space, to just help yourself out. Okay, so, with this being said, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you so much for actually sticking around. And please do not forget, the procedural tool is in the description right to this video. You can always go and get it. It's available till March 11th. So there's still time for you to get it. There's still 5 days to get it, and I most probably will do it one more time. After that, I will try to put it back on for you guys to be able to get it. Probably a different link to it though, but you'll get a point. You will be able to get it, and that's the important part. And I hope you will enjoy it. Also, I hope you did enjoy this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed the series and everything that's coming on the channel right now. If you have any suggestions and actually anything you guys would like in particular to to see and to do on this channel, please let me know, leave it in the comments, and I will try to make it happen. So again, thank you so much. Please leave a like on the video and please subscribe to the channel for more content and to help, the channel out to grow. And I wish you guys a happy Thursday, a happy end of the week, and hopefully the weekend is gonna be amazing for every single one of you, because you guys deserve it. So thank you and bye.